I'm Joe.
I'm Joe's mom.
And we're Eastside Vibes.
Happy 4th of July weekend.
Yep, happy 4th of July. Today, we're doing an older album. I wouldn't say it's that old.
No.
It came out last year.
Yeah.
But the reason I picked this one is because this artist is starting to go viral right now again.
Yep.
And they have a new album or EP coming out pretty soon. So, like, when their song that's going viral, started to get popular, I remember tweeting, like, this is cool, but, like, she had an album come out last year that was really good that I feel like people kind of missed.
Yeah.
And so I thought this was a cool opportunity to go back and listen to this. But yeah, we're covering Tinashe. Obviously, the song that's going viral right now is Nasty.
Which is not part of this album.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's not part of this album, obviously.
Right.
And that song's everywhere.
Okay.
But the song Needs, was kind of popular on TikTok last year, I feel like. But
I saw that too.
Like I said, I thought this would be way bigger than it was because I thought it was cool at the time. So it's awesome that she's going viral now, and hopefully people go back and listen to this one.
Yeah. She's had 3 come out before this, I think.
3. I think 3 albums as an independent artist.
Okay.
We'll
okay.
kind of talk about that stuff too. Before I get into some of her music career stuff, I saw you jotted down some notes of some things that I knew she was kind of popular for doing some acting stuff before music, but I didn't realize it was to this extent.
Yep. Did you know that she's Zimbabwean?
She's in what?
Yeah, she's from the U.S.
Oh,
but
I thought you said she's in something. She's Zimbabwean.
She's Zimbabwean.
Yeah, I think her dad is from there. I'm pretty sure.
I thought that was really cool.
I think her dad is a dancer or something like that. Yeah.
That's cool.
And her brothers are popular dancers online.
There you go. Let's see. Well, first she won a Grammy, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
Having never heard of her, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I'll talk about some of her music stuff, but
okay.
I thought the acting stuff is interesting.
So she's known for her acting.
The thing is, I wouldn't say she's known for her acting because I didn't even know she was in this stuff.
That's true.
I guess I'm wrong on that one.
I guess. In the year 2000, she did a TV film called Cora Unashamed. I've never heard of that one. The next 2 I have, though.
That sounds like a Disney Channel thing.
Oh, could be.
It could have been a Disney Channel thing.
Because she did that one. In 2006, she voiced for the Polar Express with Tom Hanks. She was the girl who was the friend of the lead child character.
Yeah, I was going to say she would be the girl in it.
Yeah, I think she was the only girl, really.
Yeah.
So she was the girl who was friends
That surprised me, because I'm that's a pretty, popular character from that movie. And I didn't realize, she's probably still making money from that, I would assume.
Oh, I would assume. Definitely, it's such a popular movie.
It's a big movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the next one, so my husband absolutely loves this show. From 2008 to 2009, she had a repeated role on 2.5 Men. Fortunately, she was younger in it, but still, it
that makes sense. Because you said she dated Jake on the show, which I know a little bit about the show.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, she would probably be around his age.
Right, she was younger. When I looked up who she was definitely
because he was
younger.
10 or 11, and this is 2009, so he's probably 30-ish.
Yeah,
now.
right now, yeah. So she was she was the girlfriend of Jake, who is the boy in it. But her father, who is he's passed away now, I know.
Yeah.
But he was the lead character in The Green Mile or whatever. He was her father, and he disagreed with the whole relationship.
I wonder if, or when Dad gets home, I want to ask him if he remembers this episode or this character, because he probably does.
I know. You know what? I'll show it to him, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I know who that is." And I'll be like, "Yeah, that's who we reviewed today."
And then if you played some of these songs, he would be like, "That person is making this kind of music."
Definitely, that'll be funny.
But yeah, so as far as her music goes, I've always thought her career was super interesting. I've followed her for a while, and not Charlie XCX, but
I was
going to
ask you if you've known. Okay, you have known who she was.
I kind of mentioned to you before we started doing that or started recording. When I saw Schoolboy Q in 2012, I think.
Okay.
I remember him saying, because at that time this probably would have been both of their most popular songs.
Okay.
It was Two On. It was like this. It was like a #1 like pop hit. It's probably her. It's got to be her biggest song.
Was
ever.
he the feature in it, or were
He
they
was
both?
the feature.
He was the feature. Okay.
Yeah. And he like yelled like play that song that I hate, and like it was obviously referring to like his #1 song was some pop song he probably doesn't like care about.
Yeah.
But like I've come to like realize she wasn't that into that music either.
Right.
Because I'm sure you watched some of her interviews that she's done. Like over the years, she's talked about how she had to get away from the record label and she started producing her own music and kind of going in a completely different direction.
Yeah, she was stuck in a genre that she didn't want to be stuck in.
And that like song would be like very like indicative of like what she's talking about.
Right.
That's a good song. I enjoy that song.
Okay.
But it is like it has R&B one hit wonder like energy to it, and that kind of happened to her, I think.
Okay.
Everyone just pinpointed her as like that's what she was supposed to be, like almost like a Pussycat Dolls like copy. That's what it kind of sounds like.
Okay. I was surprised. So I think she toured with Chance the Rapper. I'm pretty sure. I know I saw something. I was surprised she didn't have any of them as features on this album. Like I
mean, there aren't any features.
No, there are no features, but I was surprised to see that maybe she didn't include them on it or some other people. But no,
she hasn't really been doing features lately either.
Okay.
Well, she's featured on a lot of stuff. Well, obviously, like back then she did because Schoolboy Q was featured on that song.
Okay, but that's right. Okay.
She's going into like kind of like, I'm sure you know, like a little stranger R&B music with this, and I don't know how many people like would be able to feature on this kind of thing.
That's true. They have to have a good voice to.
You have to have like a style to be able to sing on these kinds of beats.
Yeah. Throwing Schoolboy Q or Chance in there rapping.
I don't know how well it would work.
Would fit. Yeah.
But like on the flip side, I mean, you mentioned she was a part of Kay Trinada's album Bubba that won a Grammy, and I think that song she was on won a Grammy.
Yeah, what was it? The Worst in Me?
Yeah, which it's a really good song.
Yeah.
She's on a song on his new album that I just reviewed. It's
that's cool.
Yeah, which is one of my favorite songs in the album. She just does really well with him. She's always, over the years, one reason that like I've like sort of followed her is she's always done really good features.
Okay, so
she'll be featured on like electronic songs and like random stuff you wouldn't really expect an R&B singer to be on.
So the guy you named, the Canadian guy,
Kay Trinada.
Does he sing on? Is he a singer too? Because I saw it was a producer or whatever.
Yeah, no, he's a DJ.
Okay, so is she the only one singing on these albums?
Just on those songs.
Okay, just on those songs. Okay.
Like he has different people on every song.
Okay, all right.
But they do have multiple songs together.
That's cool.
Yeah, and his stuff is like, it's like funk mixed with like house music. It's like really unique. Not that different than what she's doing actually.
Right. Well, then that would make sense.
Which is why like she does so well with him, I think.
That makes sense that it was for the best dance album if you have that combination. Yeah, that's cool.
Like I said, she's done a lot of other, like I mentioned before we started recording, she did a song with Snake Hips, was like an EDM artist. She's good at like do those kinds of features.
That's cool.
But
she's very versatile.
Extremely versatile.
Wow, she's very talented.
I mean, I would say that even, and like I don't know if you watched any of the music videos or anything like that, but she's like a phenomenal dancer too, like extremely good dancer.
I watched Talk Nice to Me. That's the video that I watched.
Okay. Yeah. But anyway, I guess we'll actually get into the album.
It's short. It's a short album, so we're going to talk about all the songs.
Yeah, normally we talk about some of our favorites, but because it's a short album, we'll just briefly cover them all. But the name of this album was called Baby/Angel.
Oh, that's Baby.
Well, yeah, Baby or Baby.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get it.
/Angel. And I think if you like listen to it, it feels like the first half is a little like lighter than the second half of the album. So
yeah,
maybe that's like where like that like cross is coming or whatever.
Right. I read a lot of people said the first song was really an intro to how the rest of the album was going to be, and that they said it was lighter and then it just moved, like you said, down to more. I don't know, just a deeper.
I don't know if intense is the word.
No,
but
it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just straight out say the album is about like relationships and stuff, and
Yeah.
it moves from like not a lighter thing, but like there to like the deep heaviness of what it means to be in relationships.
But yeah, you mentioned how the first song is like I think it's a really good intro. That first song is Treason. When I think I said this when I wrote about it, like the melody almost reminds me of like, and you probably wouldn't get this reference, but like the like scenes in like animes where like they where like they're like telling like their backstory or something. It has like this almost like anxious like melancholy feeling to it.
So that probably makes sense. Like I said that there was a really melodic instrumental, and it really kind of reminded me of like music from those kind of things, like, you know, the oriental type of song music, and I wonder if that relates on.
I remember, like, I think it like it almost makes me think of like fall.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
definitely.
not like not necessarily in a positive way.
No,
like it's kind of like, I wouldn't want to say dark, but like gloomy.
Yeah, it is. But it's
really sweet.
It's
really
a
nice.
long instrumental.
Yeah.
It's longer, but it's nice. I mean, it leads you into the song. You hear it and you're like, oh, I wonder what the song's about.
I would assume it's not, but I think it sounds like it's being played on the mandolin, which is cool.
I'm going to agree.
Yeah.
I was wondering. I was going to ask you, do you think it's a mandolin or a violin, or did you think it was like, you know, synthesizer?
I would assume it, because I was going to say this like more at the end too. I'm pretty sure she like mainly produced this too.
Okay.
Like, there's other producers,
she was the writer
but
and
like
the producer.
but she's like the main producer of this music, which is also very cool to me.
Right.
Because that's not easy for like this kind of music.
No,
like,
not at all.
And especially because she's independent, which means she has to like pay for it all too.
Yep.
It's not like she's having some record label like, you know,
pay her.
master it.
Yeah. Saying you need to make 5 albums.
She's the one who has to do this.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I've always really liked her vocals, and I think her vocals are like really nice on this song.
They're very pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know if pretty is the word, but it's nice, pleasant. Her voice is pleasant to listen to.
Like it's interesting because I really like, for example, someone like Janaya. I think she has a really strong voice, but I don't know. I really like the way she sings, even though it's not nearly as strong. And it's way different.
We're morphing into each other, because Janaya came into my head right away when I heard it.
Because I think their instrumentals aren't like totally different. Like maybe Janaya's being inspired by her a little bit.
Oh, that's so funny that we thought that. I also got a little bit of SZA.
I mean, I could see that too.
Okay.
Well, at least for Janaya, like she's from Southern California too, and Tinashe is like from LA. So
yeah. Oh,
like,
that's so
she
funny.
could definitely be influenced by her.
You can tell we're being influenced by each other.
But yeah, I've always thought her songwriting is really good too. I know you kind of wrote about some of the lyrics here.
Yep.
But yeah, I got that from this song too. It's about like being in a relationship with someone that you know is bad for you, but you just keep going back to them anyway, and you can't really stop yourself.
That's exactly what it's about. That's what I said in there. It's like, you know, the relationship will end badly, but you just keep going back to it.
Yeah. And I would say a lot of the lyrics on this album kind of like go back to whoever she was talking about here. Like it has to be a person.
It has to be.
Yeah.
They said it's a very seductive
there are
album,
seductive songs. Like the next song is for sure.
Right, but there's still more of that like negativity going, like I don't, it's not good to be in this relationship.
Yeah, there's a lot of tension for sure.
Good word, tension.
But yeah, that's how we feel about Treason, the opener. The next one is Talk Nice to Me. In my opinion, this is the most, I would say, like, mainstream-ish sounding song on the album.
Yes.
Yes. It's like the closest to like what you would expect from like kind of normal R&B trap music. Like stuff like Don Toliver or Doja Cat. Or, you know, like that. To me, it's a little like heavier than like what they would do, but it's closer to that.
What did you call it? Electropop R&B?
I mean, I would call this more like I guess R&B trap.
Trap.
But,
I never knew that was the style. Okay.
Well, trap is usually referring to like music we've done that trap for the music where it has like the fast hi-hats.
Okay, I got
like
you.
It sounds like cymbals hitting, like those beats are like considered trap beats.
Okay, all right.
And this one like had, because a lot of the other songs on this album don't have that kind of beat, but like this one does.
No, yes.
And a lot of R&B music today obviously sounds like that. I don't think this is like Talk to Me Nice is bad or Talk to Me is bad. I just think it's one of the probably the most basic sounding song.
Yeah.
But it might be the most appealing to like
a lot of people
because of that.
Definitely. Yeah. So the video that I watched, it's about a negative relationship, obviously, and her wanting. Where it starts off with it's reflecting the fact that she's in charge of the relationship, like she's the one who's the most confident. That's what they're saying, is that in this song, she's showing that she is a very confident person, and she's like, hey, you need to talk nice to me because I'm like powerful, I'm good. But in the video, it starts off with her holding like a frame, and then the frame sheds away to like almost like a new face. And so you were talking about like the genre of how she's changed it. And she said that part of the video showed that she's getting away from those, as she called them, gray genres, and now being who she wants to be.
That's kind of ironic that on the song that to me sounds the most like what everyone else is doing.
Exactly, yeah.
Like you could have done that for like Gravity, which is way different.
Right. Yeah, she does it on the most, I guess, generic song.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think this is a bad song. It just is the most generic one to me.
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, that's Talk to Me Nice. The next song was the single that I mentioned kind of went viral. That's Needs.
Okay.
When this song came out, I thought this would like have the effect that Nasty has had, because Nasty's gone like it's like top 10 and like she's doing really well for her, especially for like an independent artist.
Okay.
I thought Needs would do that because I thought this was like a hit when it came out, and the dance kind of went viral on TikTok, but it just didn't like. I don't know.
It didn't
have
hit.
that staying power.
Yeah, it didn't hit as much.
Which I thought was unfortunate, because I think this is a really good song. Mm-hmm. It has like an old school R&B feeling to me.
Definitely.
Like 2000s.
Yeah,
almost like inspired by like Britney or like Christina Aguilera, like that kind of music.
Mm-hmm. I just get what I said is that I feel it's definitely, there's the intros like electric pop. So, yeah, I could see Britney and Christina.
Yeah, I would see like like Britney maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. That's a good comparison.
And like, I don't know if you didn't watch the music video for this one.
No.
I always thought the music video was super fun. She's like dancing around and like it looks like a gas station or something.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And yeah, like this is, to me, this is just like a really fun, this isn't the most like I don't know, like out there song on the album, but like it's kind of a taste of her going in that a little different direction.
Right. And I think it's a taste too of what's about to come in her songs for the rest of the album.
Because the rest of it is a lot like
talks about heavy stuff.
Well, and I would say the instrumentals are a lot like kind of like weirder.
Right. What I said is that she has desires. Well, it's called needs. So obviously she has desires she needs in her relationship. She's got a lyric that says, I'm just human and we all got needs, so she's like, we all got needs of some point. People consider this another seductive song.
Yeah, it's definitely a sexy song.
Yeah, a lot of the songs are that way, even though they're not necessarily in the best light, they're still that way.
Yeah. I really like her vocals on this one too.
Yes, very
like they're really smooth.
Mm-hmm. I honestly thought this was going to be a rap album. I was surprised when I started listening. I'm like, oh, it's completely different, and she's got a really good voice.
Yeah, she has a really nice voice.
Yeah.
And like there are songs where it really comes out. I think it really comes out on this one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's Needs. The next song is I think this is like the most intense song on the album.
This is my least favorite song.
I wondered if you would like it. I actually I think it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
like it's not my favorite, but I think I think the beat is cool. Like I really like how how punchy like the bass is on this one. That's my favorite part about it.
Right.
I think her performance is the least memorable.
Correct, because the majority of the time you hear her saying but the reason why is she's saying to someone else, do you really want to be a part of this relationship? And then on her end, she does want to be one part of it, so she's like always going like trying to basically say, hey, I do you as well? And that's where that whole vibe, but it's just too much for me. It's like, I bet she could have sang about so many different things in this song, and she just kind of relied on the title too much.
I mean, I don't necessarily mind that, but I just don't know how effective it is on this song. And for like normally like a song like this, if this album had like 12 songs, you probably wouldn't notice this that much. It would probably just be like, oh, this song's kind of whatever.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
But it stands out more because there are only 7 songs.
Right.
So if you don't like it as much, like it's gonna like you're gonna like feel that one.
Yep.
And like I would say like when I wrote about it too, I think this is the one that I was just kind of like on it.
Yeah.
Although I do really like the beat, I just don't think that as she does as much as she does on other songs.
Right. The beat is really good.
It's a cool. Weirdly, it's one of the. It's probably one of the cooler instrumentals. But she doesn't live up to it as much to me. But on other songs, I think she exceeds the instrumental. So it ends up balancing out. I'm not like
The next song is where I think she really exceeds it.
Yeah, the next song, I still listen to this. This was like probably one of my favorite songs. It's Gravity. This was one of my favorite songs of last year. I think it was in my list for like top songs of the year.
Okay.
And I remember this one. I kept coming back to this. I still like have it. Like I'll still put it on.
Okay.
Because it's probably this and the last song are probably the weirdest songs on the album.
Definitely. But I liked this song.
This seems now. So what's funny is like this style of beat is becoming popular now. I've been hearing other artists do it,
and they're calling it the garbage can. That's what I like. The garbage can beat is what they were saying.
I say it's like garage.
Garage, yeah. They said garage.
Like, it's a style of like British dance music that was popular in the 90s.
They said garage, and then in there they were like, it almost like the drums almost sound like people who like do it on like garbage cans, that kind of thing. It has like that ting to it a little bit.
I think that's one of the reasons it's called garage.
Yeah.
But so like I said, I've been hearing other artists do this like style of beat lately, even like hip hop artists.
It's cool. Cool.
This was the first time I'd heard anyone do it in a while. And know who also does it? We actually reviewed them, Pink Pantheress.
Oh.
Yeah. And Pink Pantheress also does it.
Okay.
But like to me, this song has a lot glitchier of a beat than like what you would expect from her.
Oh, definitely.
This is like super glitchy. And if she produced this, I'm like, this is like probably not easy to produce. Like how intricate the drums are.
Yep, definitely. And even like the lyrics of it, I liked, like you said, it's like to me this was like an impactful song because it's called Gravity, and then I always think of John Mayer with Gravity, but and I don't know if his meaning is the same as or not of it, but basically she's talking about a relationship where they're like attracted to each other like so much that when they're falling in love or falling towards each other, it's like gravity falls down, and that's like where she's at in this relationship. And it seems like it's more of a positive relationship.
I got that I felt like it was negative.
Interesting.
Like once again, it is. I do feel like it's someone like pulling you towards them, but it's like you trying to fight it. That's what I got.
They said like magnetism. It's almost like magnetic.
But it's like
you're
you
being
don't.
Drawn.
The way I like interpret it is like you don't want that to happen, but like you can't stop it because like it's just happening.
Right.
Because it's literally gravity.
It is.
But you mentioned her vocals. I think her this is probably my favorite vocal performance like on the album. I think they're great on Gravity.
Okay.
But I mean, I thought you liked them too, but I think I really like the higher notes she hits because they kind of like contrast the beat because the melody from the instrumental is not that pronounced.
No.
It's more like the melody more comes from like her vocals.
Right.
Which is pretty cool.
Lyrically, I really like this song. I thought the lyrics behind it were, I like the song. I like how she wrote it. I think it was put together really well.
Yeah, I think her tone is really nice on this too. Like super nice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's Gravity. The next song is None of My Business.
My favorite song.
I remember when I wrote about this, I wrote about how, like, to me, it reminds me a lot of Talk to Me Nice, where it's, like, one of the more, like, compared to the other songs, it probably is a lot more of, like, a standard modern R&B style
It
trap
is
beat.
completely R&B, and it's funny, because, like, out of all of them, I liked the slower R&B one, because it's not that they're all fast, but just, like, I liked the way this one sounded better, and maybe it's because it is more of the generic R&B or something.
Yeah, I don't think this song is bad. I just like, to me, like, I like Talk to Me Nice a little more, and to me this sounds a lot like it.
Okay.
Like they're just similar.
I liked I just like how she sang with the melody. Like there's like kind of pauses as she's singing in there, and what I said is that it sounds like we already said that one. It's a relationship with so none of my business is it's a relationship with someone. You have that relationship, but that person is seeing other people as well. So she's got the lyric. I can't decide if this is wrong or it's right. I guess if there's someone else, that's none of my business. You know. So she's like, I still want to stay in this relationship, but.
You mentioned SZA. It's kind of like that one SZA song.
Yep.
It's The Weekend, I think it's called.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right.
Where she's like talking about how like you can have him during the week and I'll take him on the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Right.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, despite the toxicity of the relationship,
if it's working,
she
whatever.
still wants to be part of it.
Yeah.
And she says
maybe it's not toxic if everyone's okay with it.
Right. And who knows if the other people know as well. But, she says, it ain't good for me. But she's like, but it's like a drug. Like, I can't stop going back to it at all.
Yeah.
So, but I like, lyrically, I liked Gravity better. But I just like the overall tone of this song. That's what really drew me on.
All right. I mean, like I said, to me, like, this one's good, but like it's not as good as Talk to Me Nice, but it's still pretty good.
Okay.
But yeah, that's None of My Business.
None of my business.
The last song is Tightrope. If we were to have like picked songs, I would have picked this one and Gravity.
Okay.
Because I know like you don't like anything that's like a little weird, but like that. I like the stuff that's weirder. Because, like, I mean, you picked the one that's, like, sounds the most like every other artist.
Yeah, but I would have also picked Gravity. Those would have been my, like, out of 7 songs, those would have been my 2 songs.
This is probably, like, the weirdest song on the album as far as, like, the beat. It's, 100%. Like, similar to, it has somewhat similar to Gravity, like, that style of, like, British. But, like, to me, this is more, like, D&B music and less, like, garage. Garage is more, like, dancey. This is more, like... It's not necessarily dancey.
What is D&B?
It's drum and bass.
Okay, all right.
There's like, I mean, I can't even think of an artist that you would have heard of that does it, but yeah, it's like a kind of like a weirder style of EDM. It's like more, obviously it sounds a little more industrial. It's a little more industrial sounding.
Okay.
The beats are like almost like off center.
Yep.
And that's like how this is. It's like you wouldn't know how to dance to this because like the beat's kind of like all over the place.
Well, then it makes you wonder. So it's called Tightrope because again, she's in a toxic relationship and she's walking on a tightrope.
I was gonna say, I think the sound of the song really like matches like what she's saying. That's one of the reasons.
Like this,
That's one reason I really like it because like. If you're gonna have a song called Tightrope and like have like this kind of beat, like that makes sense.
It works perfectly. Yeah. I've never looked at it that way. 100%. It's like
it
you're
is
trying
like
to balance.
it is like weird. Yeah, I feel like you're listening to it. It almost like it in a way. even though this one's not as like soft as that song, it reminds me of the first song where like it sounds a little bit anxious.
Yes.
And I think this sounds a little bit anxious.
Oh.
Like it's not like necessarily positive sounding.
Right, like one of her lyrics is like, "Don't look down," you know, and it's like, oh, okay,
that's
you're on a tightrope.
That's also like a cool way to like send this out because it's like you don't really know what's gonna happen.
No, you don't, you know? And yeah, who knows? And again, she kind of like in the one song that we did where. I can't remember what the song was, where she's talking about, that it's going to end badly. She's doing the same thing here too. It's going to end badly.
Yeah, this song definitely has that vibe lyrically, where she's like, I know this isn't going to end well, but I'm just doing it anyway.
Balancing, to see if I.
It's like a different take on it, because like I felt like Dua Lipa's album, like she was kind of singing about that kind of thing too, but this is a different take on it, like
I agree.
almost like a more negative take.
Yes,
but like to me, it's also a more like realistic take.
Yes.
Like not trying to be positive or optimistic for the sake of it, which there's nothing wrong with doing that.
Right.
In fact, like you probably should do that.
Right. But she's being very honest, and I think she's honest in every one of her songs.
Yeah, it's very real. That's one reason I like this era of her music, because like it feels like very raw.
Yes, very raw.
Like you're very connected to like the music that she's making. Whereas if you listen to like Tuan, like this just sounds like Dr. Luke made it, and it has like a night. It just sounds nice, but
Okay.
But yeah, that's how we feel about all the songs from Tinashe's Baby/Angel. Her album from last, I think it came out August.
Yeah,
I think it was
August
in
of 2023.
It's classified as an album, but I always felt like it's kind of like an EP.
EP.
Although we'll see how long this one that comes out this August is.
Right.
But yeah, before I talk about how I feel, I'll let you talk about how you feel.
So obviously I had never heard about her, and then now that I heard she's an actor, I'm like, oh, okay, I know where she's at as an actor. I love her voice. I think it's very, it's not, I wouldn't say sweet because of the purpose behind the album, but she's a really good voice. You went back to like Janaya, who was, I think, our very first one that we did, our very first video blog. But she's got that overall like feeling to it, and then like I said, I threw SZA in there as well, and I love SZA, so I enjoyed the songs, the album for that, but like this is not an album I would go back and listen to. It's like, for me, it's like a one and done sort of thing. Maybe None of My Business, maybe that I would do, but if I had to give it a rating, it would probably be like a 6.5 to 7.
I mean, I was wondering if you would like this. I know, like I said, you don't like anything that's like a little.
Yeah, I don't dislike
weirder.
it. I don't dislike
and I knew this was weirder.
I don't dislike it. What I like about it is the fact that it's got that Janaya and SZA tone to it, and I do.
You like that it's like other artists.
Yeah, that's true. Well. That's true. But I like the fact that she wrote all her own lyrics. I thought that was really amazing that she did that.
Yeah, one thing I really appreciate is that she's definitely making this music.
Correct.
Whereas like a lot of other artists, like they're not. Like, for what it's worth, SZA's not making. I don't even think she's writing her own lyrics.
Right. That's too bad.
But I mean, I don't think it's too bad. It's just I can appreciate it more like when the person is doing, because that's a lot harder to do it.
You can hear the rawness behind it. Like I wonder on the Billie Eilish album. I wonder if she wrote a lot of those songs. Well,
no, she did.
Yeah,
and she produced a lot of it too.
Yeah, and
even Charlie too. I think you can notice. I like a lot of artists who do that. To me, like you can feel like their music.
You can feel who they are as a person and what they're going through, and that's really cool. It's not like you said the generic music that everybody has to sing. They're talking about what is happening to them and what has happened to them and how they feel about it. And I like that.
If you listen to like Dua Lipa, or even not as much, but like Ariana Grande to an extent, to me, like you can definitely like hear that it's not 100% them.
No.
But like there are other artists like this, like you definitely can. I think when I wrote about this, I gave it like an 8, and I would probably keep that rating. I think I would agree. Like, I think the only song I've really gone back to is Gravity. Like, I like I said, I do still listen to that song.
Okay.
And I think Needs like is one that you could play somewhere and it'll get people dancing. But yeah, I would agree that like I wouldn't go back to a lot of these songs on their own, but like I enjoyed like re-listening to this because I think it just flows really well.
I think I listened to it like 5 times.
Yeah, I think it flows super well.
Yeah.
I think it's lyrically good too.
Yeah,
So.
and that's what I really liked about it. I liked all those aspects about it, but just overall, there was just something. But no, I like her honesty.
I'm interested to see. Because the singles that have come out from her new album aren't necessarily like this, so I'm interested to see like what that's gonna sound like. To me, that sounds a little more like these ones. The new singles sound a little bit more like traditional R&B than this.
So, do you think she wrote it or someone else wrote it?
I think she still did.
Okay,
but
that's good.
It's just
that's
a little more like mainstream sounding.
Right.
Maybe she's trying to like go down that direction.
Yeah, I hope she doesn't lose her individuality though, and start letting other people in the industry,
I don't think she will.
Good.
At this point.
Because I think that's what's really gonna, like you said, she's becoming viral. That's what's gonna keep her strong.
She's successful enough that like I don't think she has to do that.
Nope, I agree.
But yeah, that's how we felt about Tinashe's Baby/Angel. I keep saying BB because it's the 2 letters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyway, I'm Joe.
I'm Joe's mom.
And we're Eastside Vibes. And thanks for watching.
Bye.